What up, what up? It's the Chief Kaseek Ortiz.
Tyrant333. We're back in the building with Figure It the Fuck Out.
Yes, sir.
And we got another one. Today we're here to talk about success. And do you listen to people who may have not reached the amount of success that you would aspire to? Or do you, most of all, listen to people who don't have the bag, but they're giving you advice and knowledge on different topics, maybe on your career or where you think ahead and what you want to do with your career? And I think that's a very interesting thing. I mean, we all got people in our lives who lend their ear, their helping hand, their experience on different things.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about that as far as listening to people? Let's talk about artists. Do you listen to other artists who haven't seen success?
Yeah, so I definitely teeter back and forth. I feel like teeter is like my new fucking favorite word when it comes to the damn podcast. But I do listen to people, but not all the time. I kind of follow suit with just like kind of everybody else does. Like, if you never really seen success that I'm trying to get, or you don't even have motion, or you don't have the bag, you can't tell me, oh, this is how you're gonna get 1 million streams, when for one, you don't have 1 million streams, nor do you have the money. Even if you have 1 million streams, you don't even have the money from the 1 million streams, which means, or shows to me, that you did something fraudulent. So I follow suit in that realm of like, I don't know if I can listen to those people that aren't actually really gaining success. Like I said, I teeter back and forth. So, you know what I'm saying? Call me Two-Face on that subject. I'm very both sides with it, because I do listen to a lot of people that will give gems, and I'll view them as coaches. You know, a coach that might not have been able to play in the game, but they know how to play the game, and they know how to teach people how to play the game, but they physically just can't play it.
Yeah, and there's like a Belichick, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't really seem like the best football player ever, but he knew how to coach it up.
Right.
And he knew how to give his knowledge and expertise to create some of the best football players and help them reach their full potential.
Right.
So you see people like that who might have not been good in a particular field, but they pivoted into management or executive role and they did even better.
Right.
But that all came from experiences, learning trial and error.
Yep.
Figuring it the fuck out.
Yep.
Banging your head against the wall a couple times, doing it incorrectly at times. So
a lot of people did that between artists. Artists would be an artist first, and then they realize, you know what, I don't like this shit. I kind of like doing videos, because they learned the experience. So they're like, you know what, instead of doing music, I'll do the videos. But they know, because they were already an artist first, on how to teach that artist how to just be the artist.
yeah,
Or I just want to do recording. So, you know, I was an artist, but I decided that I like to play with the DAWs and use Pro Tools and use this. I don't want to actually be the artist in front of the camera. I want to be behind it.
yeah. And I also think, and we both talked about this, that success is subjective.
Definitely.
Like, what is a win to you?
Specifically.
And what is a win to me? And what is a win to Kaseek?
Right.
You know, that's all different. When you ask everybody what that means, it's different. For some people, it's taking care of their family.
Yeah.
For some people, it's making millions of dollars. For some people, it's notoriety.
Yep.
For some people, it's respect. You know, for some
Right.
people, it's always different of what is success. Some people, there was artists who we perceived that they had all types of success. They might even have platinum records.
Yep.
And they were doing features with big artists
Yep.
and big execs, but they didn't see the money because they did bad negotiations on those
Yep.
contracts.
A whole lot of famous people that are just broke.
Yeah, but they had a ton of success.
Right.
If you look at what their records did, their movement did, even some of the shows they did, it was a lot of success, you know?
Right. To some people's eyes, direct, right. Subjective wise. And even those people, I would listen to those people that might have fame, but they're broke as shit, because they might have realized during their journey where they fucked up at. So they're able to like kind of coach you, be like, yo, this is what I did. Don't do it this way, because this shit fucked me up. I have success, but I'm broke. That person I might listen to.
Yeah, they have success, but they're broke. Okay. See, more of those type of people I'll listen to, and only really if they're like, we somehow got locked in over the course of our lives on the path. Like we always talk about it on this podcast. Maybe we locked arms at some point, like me and Kaseek have, and other people. And we might have started at the bottom, but we're headed on the same path.
Right, right.
You know, so those are the type of people, like, if you might not have that certain success, but I can personally see your success,
right,
and I believe in your success, I'll take your advice and I'll listen to you. And those are close teammates, family, friends, you know?
Yeah.
Those are the only exception with that, really, for me. Like, if you haven't seen that success, but I look at myself as a visionary, so I can see a lot of the people in my circle success before they even see it.
Definitely.
You know, and me and my management background, I'm like, yo, you connect the dots here, here, and here.
Right.
You can see some success.
Yep.
So, but there's other people I look at and I'm like, nah, there's no hope. But that's up for that person to go and prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I like the underdog story.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I respect a lot of the underdogs where I can see, like, can have that underdog path. Right. You know, so
talk is cheap though. Talk is real cheap. So like, that's where it kind of comes into play. You know,
you got to be taking the steps.
You got to take the steps. You got to be putting up the shots. And like you said, success is really subjective. So like, you know, if it's as simple as like, oh, I just wanted to reach 500 views and you get to 300, you're pretty close to your success point. But you being able to, I guess, have that background or the experience behind the scenes of being like, yo, I can point out, like you were saying, somebody doesn't realize how good or how valuable they actually are. And you're able to point it out to them like, hey, you're actually pretty dope. You got to just pivot this and pivot that, and you'll probably have the success rate that you're actually looking for.
Yeah.
Which we've bounced we bounce ideas off each other all the time, that off each other or within the crew, where it's like, I know that you've said some things to me where it's like, damn, I didn't really realize it about myself. You helped me realize it so I can look at that as an obtainable goal or a success point that I could add, or another ripple that I could add to whatever strategy or whatever it is that I'm doing with my life.
And all that stuff's valuable.
It is.
It's being honest and actual constructive criticism on things.
It is.
That's what makes you want to keep those people around. And like you said, also actually taking steps to upgrade your life and what you got going on. Because if you can see that, then those are the type of people, like, they might not be at the top yet, but yeah, you can work with them. But if it's just a person like some of the people we talk to, just sitting on their hands and knees, like, help me and put me forward and, yo, just walk me through this. Not everyone always has time for that. Those people, they might need to lock in with people who are on base and square one like they are, so they can kind of figure it out together.
Meeting the people where they're at. Even when you say that, like when I say about how you can say stuff, like, for example, let's just throw it out there like randomly, like me going live doing mixing and mastering. You know what I'm saying? You don't record, you don't mix, you don't master. So it's almost like, should I even listen to you when you're not finding or even looking for success in that realm? But I do listen to you because, like you said,
that's a great fucking point right there, though.
The experience behind you could be like, nah, do this shit, because if you do it, it's out of here. And now that I start doing it, it's moving.
But see, with that, the only reason why you might even take my opinion is because you know I got a business sense.
Right.
And you know, like I was saying, I got a vision for certain things in the business. So it's like, yo, if this guy is advising me on certain things, I got to at least listen to what he's saying. Right. He might not know everything about exactly what I'm doing, but he knows a lot about business. He knows a lot about just consumers and how they view things and just the social media shit. So maybe I can listen to him on certain stuff, but at the end of the day, and this comes for everybody, every business owner, the final decision comes down to you. You gotta, the knowledge you take in, you gotta fucking use it at some point.
Yeah.
If you can take on all that knowledge, but if you don't use it, it's wasted.
Yep.
If you don't put up the shots, like Kaseek was saying, what's the point?
Right.
You know?
And we've been down that path or down that rabbit hole of like literally going on numerous videos and forums and wherever you can find information at. Me and you both have dived so deep into it to figure out what works, what doesn't work, et cetera, et cetera. And then now it's at that point, it's like, do you just take that information and execute with it or not? Or do you just withhold the information and not do nothing with it and not feel successful?
I even do it. Like sometimes you get an idea, it's like, it sounds good, but like, and you just keep telling yourself, maybe even holding yourself back, like, I'll implement it, but not right now.
Right.
You know, how urgent is it for you? Sometimes is the key to that too. Because you're like, oh, I'll do it, but not right now. Usually, at least me and you, especially this year, like we get to it though. We don't put it in the back burner and then it's years later and we haven't executed or at least tried it.
Nope. We definitely hold each other accountable in that sense of being like, yo, did you ever do that yet? Or did you do it? No, you got to get on it.
Yeah. But It comes with that. Me going back to like the main, I guess, topic. Would I listen to people that haven't seen success?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
So there's people that, and I hate to say this, but I'm just going to have to say it. You can learn from their failures too.
Yeah.
You know, like there's people in my family, and this is, again, more of a family thing. If you're in my family, this is where it applies. Like if you were one who's made some mistakes and you've told me like, yo, this is what happens when you do this. This is the result of you doing this. I'll be more apt to listen to you because I've seen you probably go through the heartache of dealing with the aftermath of that mistake.
Right.
You know, so that's like good knowledge to know. That could save you from bumping your head, you know, more times than you need to.
Yeah.
When you have the OG artist who was in the 90s, who flamed out because of this and that, you know, and he tells you, yo, don't do this and that and that. Some of it won't apply because it's a different time.
Different time doesn't make, not all that information will make sense to today's age.
But some of it will apply.
Some of it will, definitely.
When they tell you that I done fucked off, like, yo, I could have done more, but I was too busy chasing my baby mama.
Right.
Or I crashed out for here. Or, you know, I did this and I fucked this relationship off.
Exactly.
You know, like
I didn't build the relationship correctly, or I built a relationship with such and these people are just not good people. Things like that.
Then you don't get to catch that till it's years later.
Yeah.
Some of these decisions we make, we're not going to see the result and the ripple effect of that decision till years after the fact.
Right.
You know, so make every fucking decision wisely.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think of that in my own sense is that I don't, for the most part, I don't really listen. So I pick and choose. I don't really listen to a lot of people that I don't really see or view relatable or that I don't really see success in. But like I said, I do pick and choose that there's some people out there, like you were saying, that might have been in the industry or has fanned out, did whatever, and I'm able to kind of pick pieces out of that element. But I've also watched people literally start from scratch, kind of like we are doing on Figure It the Fuck Out, where it's like we're finding success, but we're not, you know, we don't have the major, we're not 7 figures deep. We're not 8 figures deep. So it's almost like, you're trying to teach publishing and how to make money in sync placements and how to do this and how to do that. But like, you're not really finding success. So why should I listen to you? Why should people listen to us? That's that imposter syndrome you start to feel, or at least that I started feeling.
You can, but this is what gets me away from that. As a business dude, I know that every business starts somewhere.
Yeah.
McDonald's was a one fucking location franchise probably at one point until it grew and grew and grew. Mm-hmm. Every real estate agent, every insurance agent had to get their first sale.
Yeah.
Every artist, they had to figure out how to get their first big break, their first radio spin, their first big show.
Every tattoo artist has drawn some fucked up shit on people's arms.
At some point, somebody's gonna have to give you a shot, bro.
Right.
You know, and that goes back to that gatekeeping episode we did previously before.
Yeah.
But you know, like at some point, somebody's gonna have to give you a shot. Yeah. So, like, you gotta spit what you do, have passion about what you do with confidence.
Right.
Because where you're at, there's somebody lower than you, and needed to hear that to get to where you're at. And then by the time they get to where you're at a different level. Hopefully, if you keep progressing, you know. So that's kind of how I feel with that one. It's like, you're going to listen to me, you're going to listen to Kaseek because we actually have the knowledge. We have bumped our heads before. But as we keep showing you with the proof in the pudding, we're not just talking about it, we're doing it and we're living it. So the people that are out there that are even apprehensive about taking those steps, they're going to listen. They're going to watch because they're waiting for their moment to take those steps.
Right.
You know, like we're in the live action living it. Yeah. They might take a year or two to even get to this point where like, yo, let me get this all set up and do exactly what they did.
Yep. Let me record myself. Let me do this. Yeah, exactly. So, like we were saying, you know, people might be looking at us very successful while we sit and loathe and like we're not successful. But people on the opposite end is like, what are they talking about? These motherfuckers are...
That's the perception.
Yeah.
Like, people look at us as, yo, these dudes are crazy successful.
Right.
We're looking at people who are platinum charting and world touring, and we're like, dang, you know, how do we get there?
Right.
There's always somebody at a lower level.
Yeah.
And the world tour people, they're looking at people who are independent, like, dang, they're making money doing what they want. You know, everyone's always got something they're looking at. Like,
you might want me over here, but yo, I'm trying to go back down to your level and do it a little bit differently.
Yeah, like I'm trying to leverage the relationships I have, go down independent and have all the money and the success now.
Yep.
That was helped built with the relationships, you know? So that's the perception is deep in the whole, what is success, I guess.
Yeah.
And what did you look at as success? But the next, I guess, ripple effect is, all right, success is one thing, but do you listen to people who don't have a bag yet?
Right, and I feel like that definitely goes, it ties into the same thing, but definitely can be separated because that's why I say I pick and choose. If somebody doesn't really have the bag, I don't really want to listen to them either.
See, that for me, well, all right, elaborate, why?
Why? Because if you know all this shit, then why aren't you rich?
True.
Why don't you have the bag? If you know all these success points, why don't you got it then? Okay,
yeah, I hear what you're saying now. Okay, so yeah, me kind of the same thing. Like, but it's weird. So this is gonna be weird what I was about to say. I'll listen to someone who has the bag, but might not have all the success. They got but see, that's kind of counteractive because they had to have some type of success almost to get that bag.
Right.
In something. Mm-hmm. They might not have had success in the particular thing I'm chasing. Yeah. Or the field I'm in or whatever I'm working on. No, definitely. But they had some type of success. So I'll listen to them. How do they find success in their field?
Yep. I mean, athletes have done that where they might be a boxer or a pro athlete or something where they found success doing that, but they were like, you know what? I've always had a passion for music. Let me start a record label. And then they start that record label and all the acts they sign, they're all trash. Everybody's trash. It goes nowhere. They find no success. They either close it up or they just wrap that shit up, B. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's one of those situations where people will have the bag, will try to do something, and it just has no success.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
But some of those people, see, it's funny. We be looking at these people, but like some of those people, they don't got the knowledge.
That's true.
They don't got the insight. Right. They got a bag, but no knowledge. And if you're a fucking idiot and you got the bag, I'm not gonna listen to you. Yeah. You gotta have some type of business acumen or have some type of smarts. Yeah. Like you might not be built a record label or done insurance or real estate, but you have a successful plumbing company or a successful, pest control company or successful this company. Yep. There's something I could take from that success that you've built for yourself on your success story. Right. That's why you see people all the time out here talking about on microphones, their success stories, doing keynotes. And people pay just to hear how they got their success so they can replicate it on their own journey. Yep. And that type of shit, like that's what I mean when I will listen to you if you have the bag, but not have the success maybe I'm looking for or I'm chasing or I'm going after, but you have some type of success. So like, I guess that's not gonna twist it. But there's people who just got inherited money. They got a bag from some dumbass shit, fucking disability, a car, you know what I mean? Or a fucking car accident. Bro, like that money might be gone in a year. Right. If you don't know what to do with it, you're gonna blow it as soon as you get it.
Those people I would definitely listen to. Oh, my foot got ran over last year. My settlement just came in. But yeah, you know what you should do? You should do this and this and this. I'm not listening.
What you should do is give me your bag. Right. I know what to do with your bag. Facts. You don't know what to do with that bag.
Facts. I'll make you an angel investor. You give me that shit and I'll flip it. And give me 500 and I'll turn that into 1,000. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah. I would advise you to give me that bag so I can help you.
Sounds like that, but it should definitely be like that. This is such an interesting topic because I feel like we could go back and forth all day about what you would listen to and wouldn't listen to. And I'm dying to know about other people that watch this shit, if they listen to that shit. Like I want to know if people out there watch us and are thinking themselves, I don't want to listen to these fucking guys.
Oh, there definitely is. I had somebody commented in one of the videos, nobody's.
Yeah, nobody's. Who are these fucking clowns?
Who are these clowns? I'm like, all right, thank you, nobody.
Right.
Faceless profile.
Faceless profile, private.
Yeah, calling me a nobody.
Private faceless profile.
You probably don't do no fucking, you probably don't even lead your own household.
Live in the basement at your mama's crib.
Yeah, and call me nobody. That type of stuff only fuels us to go harder.
Right.
Because at some point, what happens when we are perceived somebodies? We get to use that. All that stuff is bulletin board material, baby. Like we love that shit.
It's always crazy until that shit works. Once it works, it's like, oh, you ain't so crazy anymore.
That's the next phase.
Right.
They're just people calling you unsuccessful or nobody, but they don't want no success. They don't know what it looks like to be a trendsetter. or to go against the grain and do something that nobody else is doing.
Right. That literally goes back to success being subjective, because somebody that does feel that way, they don't even know what their projected success even looks like or what they even want.
Because nobody does.
Right, nobody does.
It's something that no one's done.
There's no goal. There's no goal post to post. Like, they don't even know what they want to do in life to be calling somebody else unsuccessful.
And that shit is scary, but it's also exciting for niggas like us. Like, when you're doing something completely foreign, it's like, yo,
right.
We don't know where this could lead. It could flame out.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's the next point I have is success is a process.
True.
It takes time.
Yep.
Some people will be like, damn, I haven't seen success in 3 months. Fuck it, pack it up. It's done.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's project-based and your perception based on what you think is the amount of time you needed.
Yep.
But then sometimes you do that and then you were an inch away from striking gold.
Yep.
It might have taken 6 months. You quit in 4. It might have taken a year. You quit in 9 months. You know, and consistency is the key to all of that.
I'm going to rap until I'm 28, but your success was at 29.
You would have went multi-platinum at 34.
Right.
35 if you would have just kept it going. You would have had to go through a lot of shit to that point.
Right.
And that's the thing. A lot of people aren't equipped for that, going through that valley.
Nah, facts.
You know, of trying to get to the top of the 8 or top of success.
That's just definitely not easy, because at the end of the day, that's just constantly in a world of, which is only yourself. Nobody necessarily does it to you, but you are so at war with yourself that it constantly beats you down. It feels like a bunch of versions of you are just jumping you, and you're laying on the ground, and you always have to understand, like, am I gonna get up and keep this fight going, or am I just gonna let this shit go?
Yeah. And with that, always challenge yourself, get uncomfortable, add new ripples to what you're doing, one thing at a time, do something new or different until it becomes successful.
Yep.
Learn from the failures, look at your feedback, your analytics. That'll all help you on the path. And the most powerful thing I always say is the mind is fucking powerful. The mind is powerful.
It is.
If you can control your mind, your mindset, you'll be able to be a lot more efficient and get through those times.
Definitely.
Have a why you even initially did the shit and why you even started it on that path, and go back to that in those dark times. Because when you're going against the grain, picture yourself walking down a path, a dark path, and it's in the middle of the night, pitch black, and you're the one with the lantern.
Yep.
You don't know where that path's gonna lead at the end. It can lead to a city. It can lead to more woods for miles and miles.
Yep. And it's windy, and that and that little flick of the fire looks like it wants to blow out on you.
Yes.
And you gotta keep it going.
You hit a point of no return.
Right.
Once you done walk so far.
Right.
It's like, damn, I done walked for 5 miles already.
Right.
I can't go back.
Right.
I gotta go 5 miles back. It can only be a mile or two before I hit the next city.
Exactly.
Or it could be another 10 miles.
Kind of like that picture, that drawn picture they have of like the guy underground with the pickaxe. He's trying to strike gold, and he's about to give up right before he's right there. The gold is right there, but he's sweating, he's uncomfortable, he's tired, exhausted, bloody, just on his last straw, you know what I'm saying? And then turns around to walk back that 5 miles that he just dug up, that 10 miles he just dug up, that 15 years he just dug up.
As an independent artist, I look at you as successful if you're putting up the shots consistently.
Yeah.
Me, that's what I look at it, because you might not be seeing the money and everything you want to see at the time, but it's coming.
Right.
You keep doing that, you keep staying consistent, posting every day, staying on their necks, dropping new music, videos, visualizers, having them behind the scenes on your process, all that good stuff. I look at you personally as a success. Success is imminent.
Definitely.
That's what I look at. If we're gonna break it down to like that, as an independent artist, I see you as a success.
Right.
As a manager, if you're helping the people that you are helping manage and lead and work with, if you're helping them grow, if you're helping them learn growth outside of just music, as a man, as a business person, just becoming more organized, how to think outside the box. And you're working with people that respect you, you respect them, and you're always showing up. You always show up for them no matter what. At the end, I look at you as a successful manager.
Facts.
You know, all the other stuff, the money and the stuff you want will come if you focus your mind on it.
Yep.
But here's where I cut it short. Where if you're a business, you got to get that bag, baby. When you're a business, like it's different. Like you got to go get that money. I want to see revenue. I want to see receipts. I want to see proof of income. And that's what the banks want to see too.
You can help. You can help people all you want, but that bag needs to come. And if it ain't,
that's why me, when I look at myself, like I love all the social media we do.
Yeah.
But at the core, I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
So I match my success as what would my bank account look like.
Right.
That's it. I don't give a fuck what you fuck niggas say, what any of the other artists are doing, anything. Where's my bank account at?
Right.
Because my bank account's at 100K, 200K, I'm happy, no matter what you motherfuckers are saying.
Right.
So that's me as a businessman.
Right.
But that's a whole different thing as an artist. An artist can have zero in his pocket, but if everyone's loving and sharing their music and loving them and screaming them to the rooftop, saying they're the hottest artists, they're gonna feel good about themselves.
As a passionate artist that really just love music, that's really what it is.
So
we
that's
just
where
want
the
to get paid.
success is subjective.
We just want to live and just do the music shit. We're not necessarily always concerned. There is a concern for money because that's what we need every day to, survive. But if you take that shit away and we could just wake up naturally and just not give a fuck and just do our music, that would be it.
Yeah, a lot of artists would be happy with that.
Yeah.
Like somehow they're getting enough to get by off their music, but everyone's loving their music. It's it's all over the place. They're worldwide. They're making 6 figures a year. They're not making 10 million a year. Right. They're making 60K, 100K a year, but their music is all over the place. They're happy, they're touring.
They don't have to conform to somebody else's schedule. They have their own schedule. They can be a family man or woman, like take trips with their family, whatever the case may be. That's not saying it has to be comfortable, but like that is a goal.
That looks like success to me.
Yeah.
And for me as a man, that looks like success. And for artists, I know there's a lot of them are looking like if I can just get to that point, that's success.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be the biggest artist in the world.
Right.
Like that's success.
Right.
So that goes back into the perception of it all. But, I think we hit a lot of great fucking points on here.
Yeah.
We want you guys to let us know in the comments what success looks like for you, for yourself. And
have you achieved it? Are you putting up the shots to go get it? All that.
At the end of the day, always remember, you can never, ever call yourself a loser.
Yeah.
You're winning if you're putting up the shots and you're going for it. You're winning your own way, and you can turn those wins into bigger and bigger wins as you go on. Yep. But never let anyone call you a loser. Don't call yourself a loser.
Right.
Don't be counterproductive to what you got going on, because you need the utmost confidence to do this at a high level. And, that's what we're doing here. Every day, we're figuring it the fuck out.
Every day.